I'm just gonna I hope this makes sense. No, really, just looking back to the Iowa State game, you guys led wire to wire, led by as many as 26. Looking ahead to Friday night, how important is to either build on that or maintain that when setting the tone for the rest of the season?
Well, I don't think that, all games are going to go exactly the way you script it. I don't think any team in America thinks that. You look at any sport, you play close to your ceiling, and then there's many times you don't. But I do think it was a great confidence boost for us, and certainly, hopefully, will play a factor in us picking up some momentum for sure.
When you look at the start of that game, obviously circumstances were what they were. You just lost one. You were facing a really good team. How can you, or is it even realistic to recreate or bottle up that urgency that created that fast start and got you guys off to the
I don't think it'll always be the same, but I think it should be consistent that, in sports, there's certain times where you can live off of crowd and adrenaline, and then there's many times where, you got to live off execution and still be turned up and all that stuff. That's part of it. It's not all adrenaline and all positive all the time. And when a team goes on a 10-0 run against you or whatever it was, how are you going to respond? Well, that was something that happened the other day that was positive, because there was plenty of time in the game for Iowa State to come back when they cut it to 11 with about 12 left, if I'm not mistaken. So those were positive things. But I do think the secret sauce isn't that secret. I mean, energy goes a long way in this game when everybody's turned up on the same page.
Is there a player or a group of players that you can look to demand that? It's one thing for you to say it before every game, hey, let's start fast or whatever. But
I don't think it starts at the game. I think it started. Yesterday. I think it happened today in practice. It happened with Baylor in practice today, and there's a lot of things that transpire that actually get you to the point where you're more prepared on game day. And of course, effort and energy is a big part of it, but if you have to coach that every day, then your team's not going to be very good. That should be the consistent in the denominator, and the numerator is the execution part or whatnot. So
it seemed like Melvin was bringing the ball up a lot more, and maybe Darren was playing off the ball. Was that an adjustment from you? Was that a product of the way Iowa State was guarding Darren? What did you see on tape?
I actually think that needs to be an adjustment for us, because I think the way Iowa State guarded Darren probably be consistent with how a lot of people guard him. And I also think that Melvin and Darren splitting time on the ball is better than Darren being on the ball and Melvin not. He's a good player himself, and his way of being a good player in many ways is being aggressive with the ball and his hands driving it downhill. And if he doesn't have that opportunity, then that takes something away from our team. So we have to find that balance.
And defensively, you guys switched a lot less with Bryson and Flory, it seemed like. What do you like about that compared to when you guys have tried to switch five?
Well, basically, it's been a lot of it scout report. Are they playing two bigs? Is there four-man a shooter? What do they run at the end of the clock? There's a lot of things that go into that. But to your point, we didn't switch near as much. But also, against your point, if I remember the last 10 minutes, we switched everything. Something like that. I don't know the exact timing. So we'll end up doing a lot of both, I hope, but a lot of it depends on lineups.
Speaking about the scout team a little bit, it sounds like Monday's practice was a little rough against them, but so I guess what was it that switched when it got to game time, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you hear that? Who'd you hear that was from?
Jay said it on the broadcast.
Yeah, well, Jay asked me after practice, he said, do you think Iowa State's better than your scout team? I said, yeah, probably. He said, good luck. One of those deals, because we couldn't guard them. that's why I even alluded to that on, I think, on the radio show, saying we had a bad day today. And obviously you don't always play like you practice, but over time there's a better chance you will than won't. Yeah, we weren't very good the other day, so I don't know what or why, but I could have told you even after the bad day on Monday that we're going to play better and play well, I thought, on Tuesday, just because the guys are competitive and there was a great opportunity and a terrific team coming in, and we just got our buds handed to us. But I don't think that's the formula for success over time. I do think we have to be better daily and create better habits daily in order to give us the best chance to play well on game night.
And then just looking at Baylor, what are you guys going to have to do to stop them? It looks like they have quite a bit of guys that can score.
Well, yeah, they do. I could be wrong. I think they got 3 averaging double figures, but 2 of them are averaging 38. And if you go back and look in our league, is there any twosome in our league that's averaging more than Carr and yes? There may be, but I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Maybe BYU's got somebody, or Topping and Anderson. I don't know exactly, but 38 by 2 is a lot. So and I don't know. Ours is a little misleading because ours is 22 and 15. But it's a little misleading because the 22 only comes in 7 games or whatnot, so naturally it's skewed. Yeah, we really got to defend the perimeter.
Baylor has always been kind of a different defensive team, but how do they seem different to you this year with the new assistant coach from Virginia?
I think they're playing more man. Baylor's always played man, but there was a period of time for years in which they lived with their 1-1-3 matchup, whatever they called it, which was very effective, and they recruited to it with length and all that stuff. And will they do it? I'm sure they will do it against us. But they're playing a lot more man now than they did before.
And just, I guess, generally, what are your thoughts on the new transfer portal window and the fact that it's confined to a small period after the season is over?
I think the number of days is fine. What are they doing in football? 15 days as well? Something like that? I don't know. Is that right?
Yeah.
14 days, yeah.
I think the 15 days is fine. It's unrealistic to think that team seasons could be over March 10th, and you're not supposed to contact anybody until April 7th. That's unrealistic to think that those things won't be happening. And also, that's not just from coaches wanting to contact others. That's players wanting to contact other programs because they know they're going to leave, but they're not going to. They're going to wait and announce after the portal opens, or are they going to do it early? Which football, a lot of guys do it early. But when they do it early, what they're doing is just telling everybody else, "Hey, this is my agent, and you may not can talk to him, but just so you know, this is my situation." So, in theory, I think it sounds great. The reality of it is waiting till the season is over so everybody has the same runway to go get some stuff done. I think that sounds great in theory. I don't know if that's really reality, though.
Bill, you talked about not being involved in the players-only meeting. Has that always been your philosophy, or were there times in your career where you wanted players to get that?
Yes, there was. When I was a player, I was involved in player-only meetings. But as a coach, I don't think I've ever been involved in a player-only meeting if you're a coach. And if you're asking, was the my involvement created because I requested them to have it? Is that what you're asking, or that I actually spoke in the players-only meeting? I didn't have anything to do with that. So, and I still don't know, you guys reported that. I don't know anything about that.
But like earlier in your coaching career, have you ever asked a player to do something or
To ask them to do something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Oh, I would bet countless times I said, hey, man, y'all better get together and figure this stuff out. But I don't remember ever saying you have to do this or you have to do that. So.
But I'm curious what you think of how Florey's played since conference play started and kind of what you want to see from him out there.
I don't think he's played poorly. I don't think his activity level and his numbers are what they were prior to that. So I think a lot of that is our fault by not getting the ball to him in places when he can score. And then I also think sometimes he doesn't work for it the way that he should, because getting in league play, it's different, But am I pleased with it? I would say I'm not displeased, but I think that there is another element that he can get to help us win more. But I think Florey's had a really nice year. I just don't think we've gotten the ball to him as much here lately.
Do you think there will be allegations of tampering with the new rule? Because
I have no idea.
is it legal for the agent, let's say,
No.
to call one of you guys and say, hey, my guy really wants...
And then, well, I don't know how that's a violation for somebody to do that. And then your responses be, hey, I'm sorry, but we can't communicate now. So, when the portal season's open, you can contact us then. That's not a violation. So in theory, I think it could be handled, definitely within the purpose of the rules. But, it could also be said, I can't talk, but God, I cannot wait to talk to you. That's probably handled a little differently. That's probably outside the spirit of what the rule is.
How did Iowa State approach guarding Peterson?
I thought they did a nice job for the most part of trying to maybe not totally face guarding, but deny him everywhere. So.
And the other news today was a big gambling scandal.
Yeah,
Are you appalled as a coach that this is going on?
I think coaches in America would be very shocked if this did not occur in some form or fashion the way the laws and the rules are now. That's different than it's ever been. So there's a lot of great things going on out there, but a lot of great things, no matter what, also have some unintended consequences that go along with them too. And I by no means is there an excuse. By no means are you condoning. By no means any of that stuff. But the reality of it is, when it's so prevalent in day-to-day life now, that you could probably anticipate it being more widespread than what it ever has been.
Anything else? Thanks. Oh, Gary.
What'd you think of Baylor's win over Okie State?
Thought it was impressive because they scored the ball. Well, they get 94, something like that. Scored the ball, shot the ball 14 to 25 from three, something like that. Shot the ball ridiculously well and played well. They've got a good team, and their conference record isn't what it would normally be. But that's a pretty hard start to conference too. We were very fortunate to beat TCU. TCU went to BYU last night and only lost by 6, and they lose to TCU in a close game, and then their other games are Iowa State and Houston. So that's a tough start. So, but Scott's got a good team, really good team.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank